Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Discuss on the Pitch. Here we talk about facts, we talk about top six football club, and we talk about what is happening, we talk about what is trending. So today we are going to be talking about Manchester City because Arsenal has absolutely broken Manchester City. They are devastated. We are going to be looking at a tweet from one of their fans. We are going to be looking at Jason Cundy for the first time since I've been doing this, praising Arsenal. And also we are going to be looking at a Manchester City fan who finally, or in a video, probably talked about what he believes is wrong with Manchester City. We are going to be evaluating all of this. So before we start this video, let us first look at the tweet. Then I'll come back to this, then we start the conversation from there. So in this tweet, as we can see, this Manchester City fan, wrote on Twitter, and I saw it and I decided to bring it to your attention. He said, another draw, another setback. We are hurting ourselves by not taking our chances, and opponents are punishing us for it every single time. It is a lesson we still haven't learned since Sunderland. I just hope the lads are all right mentally because the body language doesn't scream confidence anymore. It is worrying, honestly. Still, this is the team we love with our hearts, and we will always be here for it. I just hope this rough patch comes to an end as soon as we finally turn the tide. I honestly don't see how Manchester City is going to turn the tide. You know why? I started with this tweet because I personally believe that Manchester City truly have lost all of their confidence. They have lost, the confidence that they had. And the reason why they lost their confidence is because they were hoping Arsenal was going to bulk. They were hoping Arsenal was going to, not win as much matches that they have won. Like Arsenal was going to draw point against Everton. Arsenal was supposed to draw point against Wolves. Arsenal was supposed to draw points against some important matches that they have won after the loss, at Aston Villa. But you know what Arsenal did? They picked themselves up and they won the matches that they need to do, whatever way. Whatever way. And if you look at these tweets at the same time, this Manchester City fan is actually talking about not being able to convert their goals. But we have seen conversations where they say that, they have scored a lot of goals as well. But what people do not realize is that Haaland has been the only one scoring for them. Haaland is the only person scoring for Manchester City. And it is affecting Manchester City a whole lot. Haaland is a fine player, nothing against Haaland, to be honest. Haaland is a very beautiful player. He's a top poacher. He knows how to score beautiful goals. But he's been affected because whenever they play a team that marks out Haaland, look at the match against Brighton yesterday, scored 3 penalty, but could not really do much. They saw opportunities they couldn't score. That's the difference with us now, that everybody wants to score. Everybody wants to score because this conversation would have been if peradventure Manchester City are top of the table now, they would have said Alan is doing a great job. Gyökeres is doing entirely badly. Even the conversation is there that Gyökeres is doing badly. But they do not really understand the impact of Gyökeres. Gyökeres and the whole Arsenal squad are playing as a team. They are playing together. Manchester City is playing for Haaland to score goals. And to be honest, I think it's affecting them. Imagine if, maybe Haaland cannot even go out for 1 month or for whatever couple of months, and their season will almost be over. So let me go to Jason Cundy, just like I said. Surprisingly, Jason Cundy has a lot to say, and let us listen to what he has to say. But before that, Agbala on this program, they had this to say as well.
So City and Villa both drop points. I'm looking forward to tonight, Gab.
Yes, I do think Arsenal.
Can Liverpool turn up?
No, I think Arsenal. I'm going to go 2-0 Arsenal now.
Are you?
Tonight, yeah.
You never know with Liverpool, though, do you? They can.
Yeah, I just worry about Kirkes at left back, right back. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not.
I think it's the midfield, Gab. I think Liverpool have got to somehow flood the midfield and get control.
Ekitike missed the last game as well. Is he fit for tonight?
I like him, yeah.
Isak's out injured, so Gakpo played down the centre.
Arsenal fans, if you are watching, remember to drop your comments. I want to hear from you. What do you think the match? Because Arsenal can very well go 8 points today. They can very well go 8 points at the top of the table today. What do you think the result is going to be? Do you see Arsenal winning? Because I predict Arsenal is going to actually win that match by 3-0. I don't even see Liverpool scoring in that match. I don't see Liverpool scoring in that match. So drop your predictions in the comment section.
Last game.
Good player, Gapco, like him.
Yeah.
Elegant. It was a perfect night for the Arsenal. Of course, on the sports bar, Jason Cundy said it's time to accept the title is heading to North London.
I've said they're going to win it. I've
Yes.
said the last 3 seasons they're going to win it, and they come up short. But they've always been there. They're always like ratting about, putting in a challenge. They didn't sustain it this year. City have dropped. Arsenal been there every single time. Arsenal been putting the scoreboard pressure. We win, it's over to you. We win, over you. And City have dropped the ball. They've dropped the ball, and they've not been good enough. And
You see, exactly that is my point. That was what I was trying to say. That City would have loved a situation where Arsenal would have balked under pressure, where Arsenal would have, just lost the match themselves. Because let me give you a perfect scenario. Okay, look at today's match, for example. Win or lose for Arsenal, Arsenal is still going to be very much 5 points ahead of 5 points at the top of the table. But if Arsenal should, for any reason, win that match today, they're going to be 8 points. For whatever happened today, Arsenal will be 5 points still at the top of the table. But if they win their match, they're going to be 8 points ahead of the table. That is exactly the mentality of Manchester City. They were waiting for Arsenal to fuck up. Then they know that the result will fix itself.
not good enough. That's the truth. They're not, and that's fine, and that's okay because you can't keep doing it every single year.
Yes.
Pep will come again. He'll
Yes.
he'll evaluate what's going on, assuming that he's going to be a manager next year. I don't see a reason
Yes.
why he wouldn't be, and they'll come again. But right now, can't argue with Arsenal, mate. That's the problem. You can't argue with it.
Interesting what Jason said. Pep will come again. Will he come again next year? I'm not. I think if
So I think what Jason Cundy was trying to say there, that Pep will come again. Pep will definitely come again, but I don't think it's this season. Even though they are big spenders and even though they're already spending up, the way they spend, they're already spending. Of course, the way Manchester City spend, because they have already brought in Semenyo right now. They are big boy spenders every January. Instead of Guardiola to wait for a player to stay fit, he goes back into the market to bring in someone new. So he has done that today. He has done that this January as well. So we do not expect them to stop spending. And we obviously know that Guardiola is going to evaluate all of this. But do you think Guardiola will still be in Manchester City by next season? Especially if Arsenal win that title this season? Because the body language should be there. If Arsenal should win that title this season, I think they are going to go on to win it for quite a while.
look, Arsenal, it's theirs to throw away, and I just wonder if this frustration is going to get to Pep where he says, "I can't do any more for City."
Yeah, the last few
Exactly
games, I mean,
my
they've drawn
point.
their last 3-0. You're in a title race.
And
you
winning, how many
draw.
games have they been winning and thrown away last few minutes?
Exactly, and as well, the games, Sunderland away, 0-0. Then you draw against Chelsea where you're comfortably the better team. You can see the last minute. And then last night, you're so open, the chances Brighton had, and then you're wasteful as well. So 3 draws in a title race. If this was Arsenal, we'd all be saying they're bottling it.
Yeah.
So we've got to say
Exactly.
Manchester City are bottling.
Exactly. Man, I'm impressed with TalkSport this point in time. If this was Arsenal, if the situation were reversed, if it was Arsenal that was in the position of Manchester City, they would have said Arsenal had bottled the league. They would have said Arsenal had bottled the league. That is how they do every season. But honestly, they have bottled the league. They bottled it yesterday. 3 matches, dropping 6 points, 3 draws. Arsenal last season had a pretty good season. They had a lot of draws, and that affected them a whole lot. It affected the mentality of the team. It affected the players, and they could not even win the title. Liverpool ran away with the title with 11 points, I think, at the end of the day, or 7 points. I can't remember now.
At the moment.
Right, join us now as the broadcaster, and it's not their fault. They're taking.
So I like Agbola's point of view. I like what he said. What do you think? Do you think Manchester City at this point in time have bottled the league? Even though nobody wins the title in January, you still have to play a couple of matches. Arsenal has only played 20 matches. Manchester City has played 21 matches. There are still 18 matches to go. It's just half of the season. But with the way it is right now, do you see Arsenal winning the title? So let me go on to this Manchester City fan. I really want to hear what he has to say. It is important that we listen to what he has to say. Then we can talk about it.
Full time at the Etihad, and it's a very deflating one, to be honest. It's City 1, Brighton 1. Seemed very much like a must-win game, and we've not won the game. We had so many chances at the end as well.
Bro, it's a must-win game. You guys needed to win that game, man. You guys needed to win that game, but you did not win.
We had opportunities to go and win that, and we've drawn it, and we've basically given Arsenal the opportunity now to go 8 points clear with a win
Yes.
against Liverpool tomorrow. It's not good at all. I think we've got now 17 Premier League games left. Seemed like we need to win that one. We've not won it. It's been 3 games in 6 days, but you can't make excuses. We've had a lot of injuries as well. We've only gone and got 3 points out of a possible 9.
To be honest, I don't think Manchester City should be talking about injuries. I think Manchester City should be talking about injuries because for the same reason that they will tell you Arsenal has bottled the league, they will also tell you that Arsenal do not have the right to talk about injuries, right? They will tell you that Arsenal do not have the right to talk about injuries, and these are the things we are talking about. Okay, now look at the situation where last season Arsenal did not have Kai Havertz. Saliba was out as well. Saka was out for a couple of time. For a while, they dropped points during this period, and Manchester City were riding on, right? Okay, Manchester City too had injuries last season, right? It was Liverpool who were riding on, but the conversation in the media was that you could not even talk about injuries. You should go and prepare. This season, Manchester City are one of the clubs in the EPL that bought, a handful of players. They changed their whole squad. Manchester City did amazing thing with the transfer. Liverpool did a very beautiful thing with the transfer. They also bought a host of players, brought in Ekitike, brought in Isiak, brought in, Kakes or something, brought in what's his name? This midfielder, brought in all of these guys. But what did we see is that Arsenal is the only perfect team in amongst all of these people. As at the time, Mikel Arteta was bringing in Mosquera. Nobody knew Mosquera. A lot of fans made fun of Arsenal when he brought in Madueke. That what was he going to do? As at that point, Mikel Arteta was looking for squad depth. Others were looking for name. Others were looking for, big name signing. Now Manchester City have Semenyo. Unfortunately, you have a bad season. I do not think Manchester City has the right to be talking about injuries. That is my point.
3 draws does mean we're unbeaten in 11, but what use is that when you don't win your games? It's very unfortunate, I think, that today, and there's been chances in all those games to maybe go and win them, but it started with the disappointment of the injuries and that late equaliser for Chelsea at the weekend, and it's continued.
Bro, Arsenal had a late equalizer, against Sunderland. Arsenal had a late equalizer, a late win against Aston Villa. It happens. If Arsenal had not dropped points in those matches, this season is already over. We won't even be talking about Liverpool. But these are part of the games, these are part of what other people face.
It's not been a good start by any means to 2026 for City, but hopefully we can bounce back. You never know what happens in football. 8 points, it looks like it might be the gap. We'll keep going and we'll keep trying, but it's not great to see at all.
So guys, what exactly do you make of this video? What do you think about this video? What do you think is really happening with Manchester City? Do you see Manchester City coming back? Do you see Manchester City still winning the EPL? Because a lot of people are actually, still tipping Manchester City as that they are going to be winning the EPL. I don't see that happening, my friend. I honestly don't see that happening. So please remember to drop your comments in the comment section. I want to hear from you. I'm trying to test out different things on my video too. Of course, it's perfect. So please do recommend it, do drop a comment, and more importantly, do subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much. I have a lot of people who watch my video, but are yet to subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much. I'm going to be seeing you in the next one.